Welcome to Lamia Italy, a series of short videos about Italy by a Brit with Italian blood who's lived in Britain and Italy and loves them both. Did you know that once upon a time there was a British-owned Italian car maker? As well as being a story of missed opportunities, it's relevant today as an insight into the effects of EU membership, as the period covers the years before the UK joined the EU, as well as a referendum on membership shortly after. Import duties made it increasingly hard for British car makers to export into European markets in the 1950s and 60s. Cars like the Mini and the Austin 1800, which was European Car of the Year in 1965, were good cars, but once import duties had been added, were expensive. The Austin 1800 costing almost as much as the superior BMW 1800 when sold in Germany. The biggest British car maker, eventually known as British Leyland, dealt with this at least in part by licensing Innocenti in Italy to build its designs such as the Austin A40 and Mini. In 1972, it bought Innocenti, which had struggled following the death of its founder, Ferdinando Innocenti, to use as its base for distributing its designs inside the common market, as the EU was then known. But in 1973, the UK tentatively joined the EU, and in 1975 a referendum was held, which confirmed the UK would stay in, which arguably reduced the need for Innocenti. British Leyland's ownership gave us two memorable cars. The first is the Innocenti Allegro Regent, complete with quartic square steering wheel and built to slightly higher standards than its British equivalent. It makes me laugh that British Leyland gave the Allegro an Italian name in the UK, but in Italy added the English name Regent. Things evidently sound better in other languages. The other car is the Innocenti Mini, with updated styling by Bertone. It was similar to the classic Mini, but with a hatchback, better equipment and some mechanical improvements. It looked great and was popular, remaining in production until 1993. British Leyland knew it was good and considered bringing it to the UK, where the Mini was outdated and the new Mini Metro was still several years away. It probably should have done, but by this time both British Leyland and Innocenti were in deep trouble. These were the years of notoriously poor productivity in both companies, epitomised by trade union leader Red Robbo, who led 523 strikes in just 30 months in British Leyland's Longbridge plant in the UK. British Leyland collapsed in 1975 and had to be rescued by the British government. Innocenti was put into liquidation, and questions were asked in Parliament on whether this would result in Italian retaliation against British Leyland exports. In 1976, Innocenti was saved by De Tomaso, who also owned Maserati and continued to make the Nuova Innocenti Mini, which in total would rack up 350,000 sales. Some were even imported into the UK for conversion to right-hand drive. There was one other consequence of British Leyland's ownership of Innocenti. It sent a young executive, Geoffrey Robinson, to be Innocenti's chairman. He would go on to be a Labour minister in Tony Blair's government from the late 1990s, becoming notorious for accusations of cronyism, using his wealth, including his villa in Tuscany, for Blair family holidays, and perhaps contributing to Blair's dalliance with Silvio Berlusconi. And so what happened to Innocenti in the end? Like most Italian car makers, it eventually fell into the hands of Gianni Agnelli's Fiat. The famous Lambrate factory in Milan, where Innocenti had first made the Lambretta motor scooter, was closed in 1993, and the brand ceased to be used in 1997. It's hard not to see British ownership of Innocenti as typical of the UK's inconsistent approach to Europe, being interested but not necessarily committed. Innocenti and British Leyland could have combined Italian design with British, I'm not sure what, to be more than the sum of its parts, but in the end it all fell apart, to the detriment of both sides. Did anyone mention Brexit? I hope you found this video interesting. If you'd like to know more about the Innocenti Mini, I would highly recommend a video by Roadster Life with much higher production values and sexier accent than anything you will find on this channel. Details are below. In the meantime, I'll carry on doing videos like this, so please feel free to subscribe. In bocca al lupo, I'll see you soon.